everybody, my name is Joe and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's just a simple indie game, but it takes around an hour and so to complete. So, I know I've been doing a lot of longer games, but that will soon stop. But I've been wanting to play this for a while and I haven't really had the chance, and the fact my old camera never permitted me to do so. So, but I'm going to try it now and see how it goes. So let's begin the game. Please make sure your audio is on. It is. I do believe it is. Controls, WASD and the left mouse button. Sound as.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Oh.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay. That was a nice little. I think that was a nice little introduction. To be fair, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I've never had that happen to me before. Jeez. Whisper. Huh? Okay. Whisper.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Right. And it looks like some kind of Half-Life engine as well. Alright, so we... Whisper machine status evacuated immediately. Alright, okay. We're evacuating.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
That looks... Huh. No, I can't go there.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
Yeah.
But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh,
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shooting.
what is that
I
exactly?
love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
That is true, you can see the bottom of the universe. I wasn't expecting that until he said that. Huh. Also, you can see the top of the roofs over there. Oh, there we go. Okay. What, is this a maze,
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Whoa. That's a very... That's a very dramatic, okay.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What? Whoa. Ah.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Oh, so now we're in a little... Okay. Oh, I can't move. The past was behind her. The past was behind her?
Yep.
Oh.
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
That is brilliant. Oh my goodness. That is brilliant. I was not... Whoa!
So it's a short and
But the
relatively
future cannot be
minimalist
seen.
experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
That's very clever. I was not expecting that. Keep changing? Why does the future keep changing? Okay, so we have to head on this way now. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. That is so smart. Oh my goodness, that is very clever. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? to confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
That was very, very clever. Oh man. Okay. Oh, okay. You are now entering. So I should probably be making a comment on the last one, but I'm quite interested to see what's going to happen next. You are now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting. Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction. Well, that makes sense.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
That's a fair point. Okay. Now things are getting a little bit difficult.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. And what's it going to show us? You walk around talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams. You start in a small room, you can't realize you just walk through the walls. A stranger appears, you must address a rally's...
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting from footstep noises. You're a queen dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is
Coda would
destroyed.
often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. In all my confusion, I kicked you. Ready, set, fish. Oh, sounds like my kind of game. Alright, but there's no fish. Unless I'm a fish. And I'm on a hook. That last one was very... I do quite like that last one, but hold on, I have to readjust you here because I kicked you.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Huh.
Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Click the lever. Oh. We have to lock ourselves in, don't we? I have a feeling we do. Is that right? Ah!
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay. So you lock yourself in to free yourself. Huh. Alright.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. What? Holy crap.
How
What?
about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
It's
Either way,
insane.
I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
That is insane. All right. Oh, we've come back to this one. Okay, so this is that you are now exiting.
Aha. So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
And now we've skipped forward to March. Huh. The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh. Oh, right, okay. Excuse me. We see a nice little house now.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Yeah.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. That makes sense.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
That makes sense.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yeah, no, I can see that, yeah. Streetwise fool. You can see that when trying to navigate the environment too. Oh, so there's one door open, okay. What? That's that. So hold on a second. So we went from going down from a house to. Oh jeez. Tell you one thing, these things are trippy as all hell. Holy crap, how far down does this go? Goodness me. That goes down quite a long way. Jeez. How far down are we meant to go, like? Oh, there's an end in here. I saw a little circular thing down there. Hold on. There we go. Boom. What is this? What? And this one dude made all this. That's insane. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, it's an elevator. What?
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, okay. That
This is
makes
something
sense.
he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
You poor sod. My goodness. There is so much detail in this. I wonder how many hours that dude spent putting into these things. Ah! There's the
It's
thingy
the puzzle
thing.
again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Really?
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. Well, I mean, most game developers have little niches that they put into most of their games just for the sake of it. Because it's their own personal touch, so maybe that's one of his personal touches. What? You there, did you come up from above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. That's the world above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Okay, that was a little strange. Little strange indeed. Goodness. They're asking about how to get to the other side to another prison, but this is considered a prison to them. That's... Huh. Oh. We just... Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No, I've been right here this entire time. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Why would I sit in the black space? Oh, it's plenty peaceful. It may not seem that way at first, but you'll come to think so in time, eventually. What? Okay, this is different as well. Because the first time... Oh, it's gonna repeat.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Are we going to interact with those guys again? It looks like we're coming out onto a street. Or...
it's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. Man, it's just some of these are rattling my brain. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. There's gonna be a lot of dong notes, I bet. Nice room, not? Okay.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
How do you beat this game? No point to this. Whoa, he's done a few of these. Quite a few of these, oh my word. Whoa, holy shit. Can you guys hear me? Damn. That is a lot of notes. Hello. Hi. Reasonable.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Wow.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Do not be afraid, do care. This game is so nice, I would like it when I could. Do you feel like a hero yet? In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them this summer. You will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Cool cavern, bro. Running out of space, soon we will suffocate. Wow. There'll be too many messages in this area. Why? Hey, I can type here. This guy over here wrote too much. I'd rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. But you see that? I love how over in the corner as well, just one of the notes is just balls. That's insane, man. Like, what the shit is this camera? I don't know, but boring. Jeez. I can assure you guaranteed that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place and the sailors are looking for it. This one's half stuck in the ground. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. I refuse to believe. But I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. That's good to know. Recognize me, please. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. What? A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door. Why you so? Makes game. Includes door. Cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door, how open? I don't. Hold door. Someday I'll meet the person who made this. I help people because the internal feeling, the good feeling I get. Whoa, artsy arts. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? Oh. Oh, holy shit. Oh, I'm just realizing something. We're gonna have to go through the entire thing. Oh, holy crap. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. I failed to write anything here. Why do I have a feeling? Take my hand, let's jump together. Okay, I have a feeling that the ones that are embedded into the ground are the wee more personal notes. Next time I will do better. Oh man, the rest of them are just random. This is a note. Yeah, the rest of them are just random ones that just make no sense, but I'm not safe? But the ones embedded into the ground seem to have some kind of more... Today I learned you cannot fall off. They at least to me, they seem to have more of an impact. Well done, all of you. Who are all of you? Jeez, man. It's about how this game is pretentious and all you suck. Nice. Nice. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. That was... Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. See,
at the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
That's quite clever.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
What are all the typewriters for? Are you there? Please say something. It can't be anything. I just need you to talk. Say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much talking? Speak. Okay, that one just... Porn stars die
Okay,
too.
this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. That last one just... I don't know why, but that last one started making me feel very... I don't know quite how to explain it, but... I just felt very, very... I don't know. Sad. I wasn't expecting that. What's this one next about? So we saw a well out there, but we weren't able to get through the bars. We seem to be going down some stairs and stuff. So now we're outside. Now we're in the well.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? A refrigerator? Put a giant hole in the ground. Put a giant hole in the ground. Okay, now what about along the wall? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. Really like a wash machine. 10 stoves lined up along the wall. A horse. I think we should light up this room a bit. A skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. Oh, that's very specific. Skylight. And a table. You need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. What?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
It's like we've just been pushed into a furniture warehouse.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on the table. Good. Go over to the photo frame and turn it slightly. Wait, turn it. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Okay. Now go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. Okay. Now what? That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay. Return.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
It's because it's a prison.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. See, damn. Just... Oh my goodness. See, I've got a very bad feeling that it's going to tell us that we've learned so much about Coda, and we're going to find out that he's all right. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
It's a conversation.
Yes.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Yep, I was in the furniture maze. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? It's strange. It feels... Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. Really? How long has it been since you got out? Only a few minutes, but somehow it's already fuzzy, kind of like it never happened. This is the worst, most desperate thing I've ever been through. How could you possibly forget? Anything can seem infinite when you're drenched in it. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? It will make sense. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I'll be here for as long as you need. And then the game just ends.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Oh, I'm getting a really bad feeling about all this, you know. Like, I'm getting
To me,
such...
this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle. with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Okay, but what about this stuff in here? Oh, it's the listen dude again. Okay. Oh, clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. All right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Don't worry about me. A place
You'll
this
notice
nice.
that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice. I'll be glad to stay here all night. And lousy homes make homeowners. Are we cleaning this whole place? Don't worry about me. Yeah. Don't worry about me. A place this nice. I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Alright. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Oh, okay. Where's the bedroom? That's in here. Make the bed. Doop-a-doop. Nice. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a little bit? You got it. All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems. Which I guess is all about all that matters. Oh, and a tiny couch. Would you straighten the pillows out on the sofa here? I cannot English at all. Okay. Arrange the pillows. There we go. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by my couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. Okay, clean the spill. Sound job. I feel compared to Shell an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No. No, it was stupid, sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Why don't you... Okay. Wash the dishes. Last to check, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down the best you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Right, okay. Are there still books scattered on the floor by the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Will do. Organize the shelves. Oh man, that looks so much better. Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Clear the table. Are all houses this easy to clean? House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Darling, let me tell you something. Your house is only as difficult to clean as you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe you have a bit of house cleaning to do before you come to work. Here I go with another lecture. Of course I would. Don't you worry about all that nonsense. For now, just smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying up a bit? Alright. Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. Take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. I get it. That's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. No problem. Oh, goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess. Would you go over and straighten them? Can't have those folks coming home to a messy couch. Yeah, I can see how this could give him a bit of peace. For some reason or other, there's something about just tidying up your workplace and your home area and where you live, and just something about coming back to this clean area that you've prepared already for yourself and such, that actually really makes you feel good about yourself and what you're doing. So question.
But,
do you enjoy this?
Of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
But no, hold on a second. No. You asked me a question, I didn't get to respond. Oh, no. I don't like that. That kind of irritated me. He was opening up and then he's like, do you enjoy doing this? And he disappeared. Now we're back to the lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Now we're moving forward to September. Items you love at member-only prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No? You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know is so well developed as a person that they really feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. What? Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is, how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It's so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the
Being perfect
perspective
is
shifts.
effortless.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
What? This is the key, how to achieve it with no effort. Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest... Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Just joking. Anyone else want to do some ecstasy after us? There is no truth. There is no path. What? What if I'm not a good teacher? Everyone run. Run.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
But they would.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Yeah, that would be a little strange now. Unless you just put a heck of a lot more effort into it. And this does look pretty in-depth, goodness. Holy crap. Oh. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. What? In this scene, you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Okay. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room, in this chair, is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello. That's it? It's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I hear all my hopes and dreams? No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were lots of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Okay. Now, talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I bet you learned to lean into the pain. You must have worked really hard to get where you were? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this is for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay. Oh. That's... Huh. Okay, yes. Now this is working.
The game ends with
This is what it was
this eerie
like.
premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with his person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
In June of 2010. Mobius Trip. To play the game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click the game. What's going on? Help, I'm blind, I can't see anything. What's going on? I can't die like this. Something enormous just appeared on the radar. How do you know if you're blind? I can't see anything. There's a giant door in my vision block. Please tell me how to solve this. Am I gonna be killed by a giant door? SS Whisper.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Okay. I'm guessing. There we go. Truth. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. Dip, dip, dip. Dip, dip, dip. Up we go. The only way is to stop is to speak something that is honest. I can't keep making this. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. Why did I have a feeling that was right?
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
It's draining me. Keep going, keep talking. I haven't been honest. You're doing it, it's working. I'm alone. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
I had a feeling that was the case. Hello? Poof? Hello? Is anyone there? Okay, the sound... Is that a person? How lovely! It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Where? When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'm completely out of ideas. These aren't really fun idea. Oh. Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that it used to protect me to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I can take you to it, but there's a problem.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Deal, or it doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're going to end up there one way or another, right? Deal. That's not what I clicked. I clicked number 3. Perfect. Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He
Here's the
was
puzzle.
in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now I have to close the door. Alright, what's next? Now I just press the switch here. Ah, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Can't believe I never solved it before this. Hello, deal. I'm completely out of ideas. Hello, is anyone there? I need to see it to know why it stopped. Hey, I recognize this. Start again. Someone's crying. Those are just words on some walls. Trust me, you'll see. You just have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Okay, making games is simple. I get it. That's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. You have to... Oh. Why did the walls just crumble? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. It is easy. It never stops being easy. Yeah, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Such a simple solution. Perfect.
This is
That
someone I
feels
really
fantastic.
cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Please, where's this machine? Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. It always pays off eventually. Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Yes.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Fuck. I believe this. Unquestionably, I'm a vessel for certainty. There is no shame, no fear, no guilt. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I knew I heard someone crying. The machine. All of his games are connected. Holy crap. Guard. Hi. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. It calls it... that's... What? One of them said, "Do you know when the poisonous games will stop?" You stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
Okay. You stop feeding us. What is going on? Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through this every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? Wow. 2. I've been so low. Apologized for leaving me? What? Know nothing, think carefully, I know how to hurt you, I've seen the thing you fear. What is going on? Alright then, I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. What is going on? What? My followers, my friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Oh gosh. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that machine has created. What? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, come. We're back to the theater. What? What? Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. Isn't this what you're scared of? Exposed to the view of others every day forever, seen in naked
So now the work
clarity?
is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
I don't think that would be a very good idea. I mean, if you do stuff like that without people's permission,
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
But there was a problem. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
But again, there was a problem.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Okay. I don't like the feeling of this. I don't like the sound of this. I really don't. I really do not like the sound of this.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I can hear someone crying again.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Holy crap.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the level, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay, thank you. Also, you can hear the little you know, that little red alert noise when like stuff goes down. Yeah, no, I really
And
feel
to be
like
fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
I didn't even realize that other game had it. That it was looped. Okay, what's going on here?
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Okay. 1, 5. Oh, no, that needs to be 5. 1, 6. 1, 7. There we go. Oh. Aha. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Right. Keep on going up. Now we're going down.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them
made any sense.
I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Oh yeah. The 3 dots in nearly every single level. I didn't mention that before, but I did notice them, yeah. It's insane.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
I wouldn't really say that you failed. I mean, I don't see how that could make you a failure.
Where did I screw up?
No, hold on a second. I don't think you screwed up. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me
I'm
anymore.
the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
I don't
don't think
to...
I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. You've so infected my personal space that it's impossible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games. If there was an answer,
the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them? What?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Would you simply let them be what they are? So he didn't add the lampposts? When I am around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something that I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet, which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Now we appear to be in somewhere like the train station. Okay. What the hell just happened?
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
I don't know whether this is a game about him or a game about his friend or...
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
What is this? I'm trying to find words
If
to
I knew
describe...
that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be?
I don't know.
It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
What on earth? I'm struggling to find ways to explain what the hell is going on here.
What now?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Okay. I guess I'm able to speak again. It's one of those random blocks. I'm kind of having difficulty explaining or putting into words what I'm feeling right now. I mean, it's not so much that there are words or thoughts going through my head, but rather my emotions right now from listening to all this, from seeing all this, from experiencing all this. It's very surreal because it's funny how, you know, even simple experiences like this, it's very difficult to describe. Because to a lot of people, it relates so badly, you know. Why do I have a feeling that's going to stop before I can reach it? I have a feeling it's going to stop before I can reach it. Nope. Huh. We're back to a terminal. Where are we? Is this a loop? No, it's not. Holy crap, is that... It is. It's the whisper machine from the very first game. No way. It's come full circle. Oh wait, no, not from the first game, from the second game. I suppose we're meant to walk into it. And there's the glitch again, where we... Nothing. Oh, there we go. Holy crap. Wow. That's a lot of maze. That is quite a lot of maze, goodness. I see, I don't know if that's... If that's it? Or if there's something more to it? Because, I mean, the other man left. Apparently not.
Turn back.
4R.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me
This project would not have been possible without the fallen individuals.
let me keep going. But the cave goes
Turn back. That is a very beautiful song.
And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back, turn back.
Well, that was the beginner's guide. And there's... I'm completely, like, astonished at where that entire game went, how it progressed, how everything that's been going through it, and just it's very. I think to myself personally, it hits home rather hard because I'm kind of guilty of some of what your man in the game has done. And I've done that for many a year. And I think for a lot of people like myself, whenever they kind of get out of that loop, they do feel ashamed of themselves, that they've... It's like at first, you know, you feel like you're worried or saddened for the other guy, and then you're trying to constantly get approval for being the good guy or doing something good, or it goes to the point where you're essentially leeching off of other people, and it's a very difficult thing to describe. And I think if this is of any actual truth of everything that's been going on in this, you know, I think people can relate to both characters. For, you know, doing things to a certain extent that people suck the creativity out of things for you. And also being the one that sucks the creativity out of others. And both of those things are not a healthy thing. They're not good things. They're things that you should really avoid. But a lot of people don't realize these things until it's too late. Until they've pushed people away, or until they've been pushed away themselves. And we don't usually get a solution for those concepts. In real life, a lot of people go through life without finding a reason why for many things. And I think it's important to note that sometimes you just don't get a solution. Sometimes things happen and you have to move on from it. And I think, like, again, you can relate to both characters. And I think during the game, I've related to both of them, and both of them hit home very hard. So, But yeah, that's the beginner's guide. If you want to get a whole field trip for yourself, it's available on Steam. I don't think it costs too much if it's not free. I'm not absolutely sure. I can't remember. I got it a while back, but I definitely recommend playing it yourself. But holy crap, you know, that's wow. But I'm going to leave it here. Thank you. If you've been watching since like the entire video, then thank you so much. I hope it makes you think like the way it's made me think a little bit. But that's my emotions drained for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck, guys.